The full Play It Today breakdown is linked in the description on theircheck.com. For AquaNox, the good news is simple. This one is actually easy to buy legally today. The catch is that easy to buy does not mean friction-free to play, and that is where the recommendation gets more specific. AquaNox still makes sense today if you want something stranger than a standard early 2000s shooter. It is a Windows PC underwater vehicle combat game, not a conventional FPS with boots on the ground. You are piloting, fighting, upgrading, and moving through missions in a sci-fi world that gives the game a very specific identity. That is the appeal. It does not feel like every other action game from the same period, but that same identity is also the filter. If you are looking for a smooth modern shooter, AquaNox is probably not your best stop. The underwater vehicle angle means the handling, pacing, and combat expectations are different. The old PC feel is part of the package, and some modern players may run into setup friction around input or display behavior, depending on their system. So the verdict is recommended with caveats. Not a hard skip, not a must play for everyone. Recommended if you are curious about an unusual, legally available PC action game and you have some tolerance for early 2000s PC quirks. Skip it if you want something immediately comfortable, modern, and self-explanatory. Now, how can you play AquaNox today? The best current option for most people is the GOG version of the original AquaNox. It is a current legal PC release, it is DRM-free, and it includes useful extras like the manual and soundtrack. That makes it the cleanest default recommendation if your goal is to play the 2001 game itself. Steam is also a valid option. The original AquaNox is sold there, and Steam also offers bundle routes with AquaNox 2 and the broader franchise. If your library is already on Steam, or you want to buy the first two games together, that route makes sense. But for the default answer, I would point most people to GOG. The important thing is not to confuse AquaNox with the later entries. AquaNox 2, Revelation is the direct sequel, and it is relevant if you want more of the same world and structure. AquaNox Deep Descent is a newer reimagining from 2020 with more modern production and a different place in the series. It may be the better choice if you want a newer underwater vehicle shooter, but it is not the same as playing the original AquaNox. That is why the GOG Original is the version to start with. It preserves the actual 2001 game, removes the old disc era buying problem, and gives you a straightforward legal way in. It does not magically modernize everything. It does not turn AquaNox into a contemporary action game, but it gives you the original in a practical package, and that is exactly what this kind of recommendation should do. For purists, the answer is basically the same. There is no strong reason to recommend tracking down an original physical PC copy over the current digital versions, unless you are collecting. For most players, authenticity and convenience line up well enough here. Buy the current release, start there, and do not overcomplicate it. What should a modern first-time player know before starting? The main adjustment is setup expectation. AquaNox is easy to purchase, but it is still an old Windows PC game. Community documented issues around mouse input and widescreen or display behavior exist, so do not be surprised if you need to tweak something for comfort. That does not mean everyone will have the same problem, and it does not mean you should start by downloading random fixes from unsafe places. It means you should treat setup as part of the decision. Start clean. Try the storefront version first. Check the in-game settings. Use the manual if you need orientation. Then, only if you hit a specific problem, look for a reputable, community-supported fix for that exact issue. Gameplay-wise, do not approach AquaNox like a normal shooter. Think mission-based underwater vehicle combat. Movement matters. Upgrades matter. The feel is part of the identity, and it may take a little time before the game's rhythm makes sense. So, Is AquaNox still worth playing? Yes, selectively. It is legally accessible, distinctive, and still interesting because very few games occupy this exact space. But the recommendation depends on your tolerance for old PC friction and non-standard combat. If that sounds appealing, start with the GOG version of the original. If you mainly want a cleaner modern underwater shooter, look at Deep Descent instead, but understand that it is not a replacement for the 2001 game. AquaNox is worth starting when you want something specific. Buy the original on GOG if that is the game you came for, use Steam if that fits your library better, and go in expecting a distinctive PC relic, not a frictionless modern shooter.